let's talk about how we can read more and stay consistent without sacrificing your life. Basically, how to read smarter and not harder. I absolutely love to read, but I also like to think that I'm reading because of the process of reading and also to get some sort of use out of the book and not read a book just to check off the box that I read that book and add that book to my list of the books I read in this year or in this month or whatnot. I also thought before that the more books I've read, the more smarter I've become, the better my life will be. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I was just reading and reading, and I thought like, the faster I read, I can get to another book, and that book will for sure change my life. I was always looking for that more and more and more and more, and then I finally realized that I would read that book, and 80% of what was in the book, I will completely forget about it, and I wouldn't even be able to implement it into my life. So basically, it was pointless. Then I would have to reread that book so I can get actual value from it, and then it would essentially waste my time. So I figured that I would need to come up with a better approach on how to read books and actually implement value into my life without sacrificing a lot of time and actually getting value. Basically, best value for your buck. I guess you could call it that way. So recently, I have taken a different approach on how to read books. I basically thought of an idea that less is more. I feel that my life is actually changing because I am able to implement of what is being said and suggested in the books into my life. Literally not doing much. I'm spending maybe like 15 minutes of my day, tops. In a nutshell, I actually read a chapter of a book every day. And no, I'm not like a super fast reader, and no, the chapters are not 30 pages long. Today, I'm going to tell you about these 3 books, and I'm going to explain you a little bit about how you can read them, how you can implement them into your life, and how essentially you can make your life better. The first book, it's called The Creativity Act. Well, you know how they say don't judge a book by its cover? Well, I actually got this book because of its cover. I absolutely fell in love with it when I saw it, and when I saw the name of it, The Creativity Act, I'm like, I have to have it. I have to absolutely have this book. This book has 78 chapters, but they're actually called 78 Areas of Thought. What a beautiful name, hey? The chapters are 10 pages long tops, and I was trying to read more than one chapter of this book every day, but then I was like, it kind of like just layering on top, but I'm not able to actually process the previous layer, and it just doesn't make sense, you know? You know, if you like put some kind of like serum or product on your skin and you don't let your skin absorb it, it can become really flaky or weird or whatnot. So I feel like with this book, you need some time to process things. Reading a chapter of this book a day gives me an opportunity to process what I read and then apply it into my current day, current situation, you know, a current issue I'm maybe experiencing, and I'm actually able to reflect on it and then apply that knowledge and see if it actually will change something or will shift like a perspective in my mind or anything like that. I like to read this book when I'm on the couch with Lucy, when I have a cup of tea or maybe some, you know, delicious snack, and I have Lucy by my side, my little doggy. Yeah, for me, this book is just to feel good from inside out. You know what I mean? And especially because it's talks about creativity, you know, so I feel like I'm filling my cup and I'm harvesting that creative energy. I'm becoming a content creator, and I feel like this book is an essential help for me. That's basically what I was doing with this book. You're more than welcome to read more than a chapter a day if you want or if you feel like it. And again, I'm not reading this book every day. I'm reading this book on my days off. So basically maybe 2-3 times a week. Again, if I have time, if I feel like it, I'm not making myself. I feel like with this journey I'm on and with my approach, I actually want to enjoy reading a book, and when I enjoy reading a book, I actually more prone to implementing that knowledge into my life. I hope that makes sense. The second book, it's called The Pivot Year. It's actually funny how I found out about this book. I saw a notification on my Audible. I think it was like right either before, on, or after my birthday, and I was like, oh my god, this is a sign. I need to have this book. So I had a bunch of credits on my Audible and I bought this book right away. And what was interesting about that book, when I opened it on my Audible, it said it had, hold on. said that it had 17 chapters, and I'm like, 17 chapters, but it's about pivot here, okay. Then I started listening to it and was like, day 1, and it was on like a couple minutes long, and then day 2, and I'm like, oh, okay. So basically you only read or listen to it once a day, and the chapters are super short. I actually was on my Pinterest and I saw like a couple pictures of the actual book and the actual chapters. They're literally a page long, and if you listen to that book, it's maybe 2 to 3 minutes to listen to it. What I've been doing is, I got this book on my birthday, and you know how people like, oh, new year, new me, time for new year's resolution. Well, this is all great, but I feel like your year, like from your birthday day to your next birthday day, that's actually your year. You're turning older. I don't know, I kind of had this like weird mindset shift, and I even thought about like doing a vision board on my birthday or even shortly after, because again, it's something about me. I don't know, this is just something's been going on in my head. So maybe you can implement it, you know, maybe you can do something like that on your birthday. I think it's going to be like a really cool thing to do. Is that I recently started journaling, and I would read that book and I would actually journal on it. Interestingly, the things will actually apply to me perfectly, to what was going on in my life, to what is going on with, say, my day, my work, or anything I've been struggling with. It would actually be applied perfectly. It's like, you know, like you're connecting all these little dots, and it's like appears a really beautiful picture. So I would actually listen to that book and I would make notes in my journal. And then what I also been doing, I would go back to the previous days and I would kind of reflect on them too. And I'm like, say, like if I'm struggling with something and I remember that I heard it somewhere, I would like go back and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's what I should be doing. So it's almost with this book, almost if I'm studying a subject, you know, making notes, going back, applying and reapplying the knowledge. But isn't self-improvement a subject, and we're in a school of life? I don't know. A weird thought popped in my head. I figured I'll share. Again, I really recommend this book. Brianna Wiest is an amazing author. I read a few of her books and they're really, really, really good. Again, this book is absolutely amazing. I only just started reading it, but I do enjoy it. You know, it's only a chapter a day. And if you're a busy, busy girl, then this book is for you. Honestly, there's no excuses. Book number 3, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I know, it sounds a little bit out there, but I mean, it is true. Like, your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your life. This book is a little bit more of a spiritual one, but please don't let it scare you. It actually has a good introduction on how to read or listen to this book. If you don't consider yourself a spiritual person, you can still apply that knowledge, and it will change aspects of your life. It will change your mindset. You know, you'll have a total mindset shift. For the better, of course. This book has 81 chapters. So realistically, if you're gonna read this book every day, it's gonna take you 81 days to read it. So about 3 months roughly, not bad. And that book actually tells you that you have to read or listen to it a chapter a day. No more, no less. I like how each chapter is only, again, I'm listening to it on Audible. So each chapter is about 5-7 minutes long. And it has 3 parts to it. So it actually has the background of information, explanation, and then how you can implement it into your daily life. So it actually tells you what you can do throughout the day to implement that information or that new mindset or that new idea. And it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You don't require any special tools or any special knowledge. You just need yourself for that. You just need yourself, your brain, your feelings, you know, like that's all. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to implement. And ideally, what I would recommend journaling on this book, but again, it's not necessary. You can just listen or read to it and that would be enough. I found it very, very useful and transforming when I listen or read to it first thing in the morning, because then I can apply that knowledge to, you know, the rest of my day, and it works great. I mean, if you're short of time or you have different schedules, it was my extra early morning routine. Unfortunately, I don't have time or energy to listen to that book in the morning. I feel like it's not going to bring me any advantage. So instead, I just listen it on my way home from work. And I find it works. I still have a few hours, before I go to bed and stuff to apply anything in that book to my day, or I can reflect to what happened and then apply that knowledge and shift my mindset, or just change ideas on certain things that happened, or how I interpreted them, or what I felt. So yeah, it's been quite good. That's it for today's video. Hope it actually provided you some value on how to read books, and maybe actually inspired you to go and find a book that you can read. Maybe you can try with these three, and I hope you will like them. I really, really do. And I hope that by reading books in such way, you can actually get a full advantage of reading and apply that knowledge into your life and actually transform your life. Have that quantum leap, if you like. Please, please, please let me know in the comment section down below about some of your favorite books, or if you found this video valuable at all. If you didn't find it valuable, let me know. Please give me your feedback. I appreciate it. My goal here is to build a supporting community, and I want to do my best and give my best to each and every one of you, and I'm really, really hoping that this will provide benefit. That's essentially my goal, is to provide value and benefit to every single one of you who is struggling, who are going through hard things in your life, and you're stuck or whatever. I'm here for you, and I really want to give you a little bit of support as much as I can, really. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. Bye.